Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko is calling on Russia to support his peace plan with deeds, not words, as a week-long ceasefire is set to expire in eastern Ukraine Friday. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry again echoing the call.
It is critical for Russia to show in the next hours, literally, that they're moving to help disarm the separatists.
European Union leaders will meet Friday to consider widening sanctions against Russia's economy, including the energy sector. Poroshenko says representatives of rebel-held areas in eastern Ukraine will hold talks with Russia's ambassador and a European envoy on Friday. Now, that all comes as pro-Russian separatists in Donetsk and Luhansk voted today to adopt a constitution to cement their alliance, strengthening pro-Russian ties in that region. Joining us now from Toronto, Andrij Makuch is the editor of the Encyclopedia of Ukraine at the University of Toronto. Let's talk about U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry putting pressure on Russia, calling them to do something, make some change within hours. But I imagine, Andrij, that we're not going to see much.
Well, it's not going to hurt, but certainly this is something that has been, I would say, overdue. After Poroshenko was elected president of Ukraine, basically Russia was given a message that we'll wait a month. We expect you to put the house in order, to actually put pressure on the separatists to to make peace, and then we'll get back to you. All that did was basically give a buy for Russia to increase the flow of troops and armaments into eastern Ukraine.
Andrij, we've also had the militant groups come forward, say they agree to a ceasefire at least until the end of the week. Promising or a ruse?
If you look at it in terms of what the prime directive of the separatists is, then it makes sense. These are not people dedicated to establishing a body politic. These are people who are dedicated because they basically take over main administrative buildings, but they don't actually start setting up various structures of state. These are people who disrupt the existing government structures, and so they're basically dedicated to mayhem. They're also paid. They're not patriots who are doing this out of the good of their hearts. They're making money on this. So the longer they can extend this, the further they extend their mandate, and also the monies that they're getting, that they're paid.
We're talking about conversations as well that Germany's Chancellor Angela Merkel has had with Putin, the fact that she's talking about new sanctions, the U.S. is talking about new sanctions. Is all of this ramped up sort of effort on the economy making a difference?
If in fact it is serious, it would make a huge difference. This is one area where if you go into what the third stage of sanctions, as they're called, where you don't just target individuals, but you actually target certain sectors of the economy, this would hurt Russia economically. The West would take a hit as well, but it would make a difference.
You think it would make the kind of difference where we could see Vladimir Putin take some serious action?
I think Putin's supporters would feel heat, and they would speak with him. Whether he would follow suit is another matter.
Do you see a ceasefire being extended here?
I'm pessimistic, and I think a lot of people are pessimistic that this ceasefire is going to be extended in a long time. In the interim, it was the right move to make on Poroshenko's part to get the ball rolling in terms of a political solution to this whole crisis.
All right, we'll leave it there. We have Andrij Makuch, University of Toronto, joining us. Andrij, thank you.
You're welcome.